Rise and ground, folks, guys. We're gonna start this Thursday off how we start our Mondays off, on fire. Guys. I'm on the way to another heat maintenance. This is an existing maintenance customer. I believe we did some work outside. I know she had a 90% furnace and a condenser in the alley in the backyard. I know we replaced a capacitor, if not last year, like 2 years ago. For the AC, I don't know about the heat, but she said everything's working. We're just out here just to clean and check, make sure everything's rocking and rolling with the heat. And guys, I am almost there now. I got to make sure I can find parking. Look at this buzz. It's construction going on almost on every corner. All right, guys, let me find parking. I got to figure something out. I'll see y'all when I get inside. All right, guys. This is the unit. Yeah, not a lot of space, but one thing I always tell my guys, you got to be patient, because I don't care if you're in new construction or if you're in HVAC service, guys. I'm talking to these new developments. I can tell you now, guys, HVAC is the last thing that a lot of people think about after it breaks. So unless you're in the trade, I don't think a lot of people talk about HVAC as far as how well it can get until something happens, or if they want something relocated or something added or replaced. But you always got to be patient with certain setups. But I know, like I said, space is definitely not going to be an option as far as with serviceability with this furnace, regardless of where it is. I know they got to put their stuff here, but guys, it is what it is. We just improvising. We try our best to work with what we have. But as you see here, this is a job for my stubbies and my drill. Guys, real quick, this is a Goodman 90% furnace and straight AC unit. As far as history here, I think I either made a short or a video about this last summer, I believe. The only issue they had, well, they had two issues. It was 2 years ago, and then it was last summer. 2 years ago, I think we replaced an AC capacitor outside. And then last year, the customer said that they came down here and the whole floor was like soaking wet, and the water went away once they turned the AC off, and we had to replace the condensate pump. So besides the pump inside and the capacitor, I believe, outside getting replaced, nothing else is done to this unit. But yeah, I just turned the unit off because I had to go back and get some tools to open up this unit. But yeah, guys, with that being said, let's get started. Let's open this up, and yeah, let's become a contortionist. And I got to get that flame sensor out to clean it, and I want to look at that filter. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I took the door off, and I know off the jump, this is a Goodman 70,000 BTU furnace, and this filter has to get replaced as well. There's no date on it, but I'll see to it that that filter gets replaced. And guys, look at this. This can't be good. And this is dry, but it looks like at some point in the past, I don't know if that's coming from the actual collector box or if it's coming from the screw in the back of the furnace. That's not good. But the only way to diagnose that is we'll have to pull the inducer, and we can pour water in the collector box and see if it leaks from this end. But like I said, guys, this is all dried up, which is crazy. I know this unit was here when this customer moved in, but they didn't have any service history prior to us coming out, I believe 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, when we did the capacitor replacement outside, that's when we signed this customer up for maintenance. But yeah, anytime, especially with 90% units, anytime we see rust or any previous, like I said, water damage, we always just step back and make sure that this furnace is draining, meaning the condensate trap. You want to make sure you pour water inside this trap to make sure that it's actually draining out right, because guys, the biggest reason for 90% furnaces rusting over and leaking water. It's not a dirty filter. It's not one of your components failing. It's the furnace not draining properly. Either the condensate tract can be blocked up, or maybe the condensate drain from your furnace could be either pitched incorrectly or clogged up as well. So you want to make sure that this is actually draining properly. That's what I'll do now. But real quick, I'm gonna get my 1/4-inch stubby, and I gotta get this flame sensor taken out and cleaned, and I'm gonna check that igniter, and also I'm gonna open up this bottom door because I want to look at the blower component, because this is most importantly where our circuit board is. We hopefully don't want any water damage or any stains near or around that circuit board. But guys, let me do that. Let me open this up. I'll be right back. All right, guys. I just got the bottom door off, and as you can see, once again in the past, whatever water built up on top, it just leaked into the bottom cabinet, and they got a French drain which goes into the sump pump there. But for sure, guys, I notated on file what we seen there. And guys, this isn't coming from the collection box. This is actually the front plate of the heat exchanger. So even if we replace this collection box, I'm not sure if this is going to go away. Now right now it's not actively leaking, but for sure we don't want this to come back and potentially cause issues either with the circuit board, all the electrical components, or keep in mind this is a 90% unit. If that heat exchanger isn't properly draining, that could open up one of our pressure switches potentially and cause this unit not to work. So for sure we'll notate that. I just took my flame sensor out, and I can use a good cleaning. And I gotta go to the truck and get another filter. And this looks very similar to the gas valve that I replaced last week. I don't know if this is a 2-stage 90%er. I think it might be. And guys, that's another thing with these Goodman 90% furnaces. Even if you get a 2-stage furnace, there's a dip switch on the circuit board. Like, let's say if you only want, for some reason, if you get a 2-stage furnace and you only want it to operate as a single stage, there's a dip switch that you can switch on the circuit board to switch it from 2-stage to single stage. So now, instead of this unit modulating from first to second, like usually how most 2-stage furnaces will operate, this furnace will only run on 1 stage. Now, once again, that kind of defeats the purpose of having a 2-stage unit, but guys, sometimes people get 2-stage equipment and they only want it to operate in 1 stage. So it's cool that you have that feature. So now that if you do have a 2-stage Goodman unit, you don't have to run new wires. You don't have to have a 2-stage thermostat. You can run everything like normal. But once again, it's best to either have everything single stage or 2-stage. But all right, guys, got another 16x20 filter, and I just spoke to the customer. At this point, I didn't show you guys let me turn my headlight off here, hold on. I didn't show you guys the age of this thing, 2010. So this thing is already 14 years old. So guys, this unit is already at the top of the mountain. I don't think it's gonna get any better than what it's already doing now. So I just spoke with the customer, and they're fully aware that the heat and AC pretty soon is gonna have to get replaced. But for right now, I told them right now everything's dry. It's not actively leaking, but by this time next year, if it does get worse, or if it's actually leaking next year around this time, I just told the customer it may be best to just invest in a new furnace, because if it gets worse, now you got to deal with electrical problems and potentially this unit not even working. If that heat exchanger is leaking, then that means the heat exchanger is not going to be in the negative pressure. So guys, like I said, putting 2 and 2 together, I'm all for letting things rock out until it die. But guys, the point of the maintenance is to make sure the customer is aware of potential problems. So now they're not scrambling, calling you 3 o'clock in the morning on a 20-degree night saying that your heat isn't working, and now they're forced to replace a furnace, before they really wanted to. But like I said, guys, education is the key. Just make sure you guys are aware of what's going on and you're communicating this to customers before they deal with breakdowns. But yeah, guys, all right, I got my bottom door on. I just wanted to show you guys the age of this unit. I'm gonna put this filter in, and I got 2 more calls I got to get to on this lovely Thursday. So let me put this filter in, let me close this up, and let me fill out the paperwork, and I'm gonna rock out. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.